On the news, 12 travelers feared dead in Zamfara as bandits plant explosives along road. Senate holds action on controversial tax reform bills, sets up special committee for resolution. And Nigeria and South Africa activate advisory council to boost trade and investment. Many thanks for joining us on News Now on TV360 Nigeria. I'm Cindy Salachigo. We begin in Zamfara State, northwest Nigeria, where about 12 people are feared dead around Mailamba axis along Dansa-Dalgasu Road under the Maru local government area following a suspected bomb explosion. According to residents, the incident occurred around 8 a.m. on Wednesday after a commercial driver conveying passengers from Dansadu town ran on the device suspected to be planted by bandits. In a statement, the coordinator, Joint Media Coordination Center, Joint Task Force, Northwest Operation, Lieutenant Colonel Abubakar Abdullahi, who confirmed the incident, said officials are currently coordinating with local law enforcement to assess the situation and ensure that those responsible do not go free. This is the second time an explosive device would be planted along Dansado Road in 3 days. Over the weekend, a similar device suspected to be planted by bandits exploded with an 18-seater bus, killing the driver, who was the sole occupant. Nigeria and South Africa have fully operationalized the Joint Ministerial Advisory Council on Trade, Industry, Trade and Investment to strengthen economic collaboration between Africa's two largest economies. The announcement was made on Tuesday by South African President Cyril Ramaphosa at the 11th Nigeria-South Africa Business Roundtable held in Cape Town. Addressing business leaders, government officials and trade stakeholders, President Bola Tinubu reaffirmed Nigeria's commitment to creating an enabling environment for South African investors while urging South Africa to reciprocate by fostering opportunities for Nigerian businesses.
It cannot be better appreciated unless you are there, unless you experience it. And you will see the reasons why Nigeria and South Africa are co-joint twins tied by the hips, not only for survival, but prosperity for our people. With the reforms of the economy from day one, I've started to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I am sure you have no better investment destination than Nigeria. You cannot earn a better return on your investment elsewhere except in Nigeria. In terms of stability, security, and rule of law, we're there with you. We assure you that we are open for business.
South Africa runs a large trade deficit with Nigeria, mainly due to the import of Nigerian oil and gas. There is a need to diversify our trade to ensure a mutually beneficial partnership. We are greatly encouraged by the presence of South African companies in Nigeria, just as we welcome Nigerian companies in South Africa as well. We do recognize that challenges still exist within our respective environments, challenges that limit the expansion of investment and sometimes impact on the operation of the companies themselves.
Amid the debate on the tax reform bills, the Nigerian Senate has yielded to public pressure, suspending deliberations on the 4 controversial tax reform bills sent in by President Bola Tinubu until contentious issues are sorted out. In a move to address the disagreements, the Senate has established a 10-member committee tasked with engaging with the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, to address the areas of contention. The announcement was made by the Deputy President of the Senate, Barau Jibrin, who presided over the plenary session on Wednesday. He said the Senate Minority Leader, Abba Moro, will lead the senators to the meeting on Thursday, December 5. Earlier on Tuesday, President Bola Tinubu had directed the Ministry of Justice to work with the National Assembly to address the concerns raised by different stakeholders on the tax reform bills.
All the areas of disagreement and resolve them for the interest of this nation. It is therefore proposed that by tomorrow there will be a meeting with the committee that will set up here and the leadership to sit down with the Attorney General to look at those issues and resolve them. It's on this note that the Committee on Finance that the bills have been referred to should hold action on public hearing and other issues until we resolve these issues. So by tomorrow we shall sit, the committee shall sit with the committee that has been set up here, which I'm going to read the membership by 1 tomorrow, so that we can see all these areas and resolve them for the interest of our nation. I therefore read the members of the committee, the names of the members of the committee. Number 1, Senator Abba Moro, the Marolia is the chairman. Senator Mohammed Tairi Mongono, representing Northeast. Senator Adamu Alero, representing Northwest. Senator Oji Uzo Kalu, representing Southeast. Senator Dixon, representing South-South. Senator Tatus Zam, representing North Central. Senator Abdullah Yaya, Chairman, Committee on National Planning. Senator Adiola Solomon, Chairman, Senate Committee on Appropriations. Senator Sani Musa, Chairman, Senate Committee on Finance. Senator Abiru, Chairman, Senate Committee on Banking. And the entire leadership will be part of that meeting.
Meanwhile, Senate President Godswill Akpabio has issued a stern warning to underperforming committee chairmen, threatening to replace them if they fail to meet the Senate's expectations. Akpabio expressed frustration over the continued disregard by heads of ministries, departments, and agencies for invitations from the National Assembly. Speaking during plenary, Akpabio responded to concerns raised by Bauchi Central Senator Abdul Ningi, who lamented that the Senate Committee on Finance had not conducted oversight on 92 revenue-generating agencies. Akpabio emphasized that the Senate leadership will not hesitate to reshuffle committees to ensure competent individuals take charge. And as part of efforts to commemorate this year's International Day of Persons with Disabilities, the Citizens with Disabilities has highlighted the need for greater participation of members in leadership and governance, stressing the importance of fostering an inclusive society where no one is left behind. This were part of demands made during a one-day road walk in Lagos organized by the CCD, aimed at raising awareness about the inclusion of persons with disabilities in decision-making processes, a crucial element in achieving a sustainable future. Speaking on the theme, Amplifying the Leadership of Persons with Disabilities for an Inclusive and Sustainable Future, the CCD also emphasized on the need for the full implementation of the Nigeria Disabilities Rights Act and urged all levels of government to ensure compliance.
It's a global celebration for 2024 theme said, Amplifying Leadership for Persons with Disability for an Inclusive, Sustainable Future. And that's why we are here today, to create awareness on the theme of the year, to celebrate the International Day, to also create awareness to the general public on the provisions of the arts, be it Lagos State Special People's Law, and as well as National Disability Act and UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disability. We want to create awareness today to draw our attention of the general public on the provisions of these acts and the need to respect the rights of persons with disability and join the campaign for the full implementation of the Disability Act and Lagos State Special People's Law.
In all the space of the governance, or when it has to do with policy making, implementation of policies, legislation, we want persons with disabilities to be included. We have persons with disability who are professionals in various fields who can do this job, and we speak for others. That means once we know that among us, when we want to make a policy, for instance, when the Lagos State Special People's Law was passed, there were persons with disability there. But you can now look at it that even after passing the law, how much of the implementation have been carried out. So we need persons with disability at every sphere, because we have them everywhere too. So with that, you know that a person with disability in Lagos State, precisely, like I will always say, Lagos State is trying compared to other states, but notwithstanding, we want more. We want to feed governance. We want to, with the economic hardship that is in the country now, persons with disability are going down the more. A lot of things are happening. So we are going down the more, meaning we are more impoverished than ever before. Meaning we are asking the government that when you want to make anything, when you talk of anything as in policy, reaching out to the people, let persons with disability be included.
In other stories, the International Maritime Institute of Nigeria has launched a training program focused on innovative strategies for growing the blue economy, an initiative which aims to equip participants with the knowledge and skills necessary to unlock the vast potential of Nigeria's ocean resources while ensuring their long-term health. The training, which aligns with the vision of the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Ogala, and the President's goal of achieving sustainable development, will delve into the concept and significance of the blue economy, exploring innovative strategies and technologies for sustainable ocean resource management. Organizers say the initiative is a crucial step towards harnessing the power of innovation and collaboration to build a sustainable and prosperous future for Nigeria's oceans.
It's a specialized maritime institute with aim of advancing the blue economy. You were here when it was inaugurated on 1st of June this year. And it is designed to meet the increasing demand of experts required to manage our blue economy. That is the essence this training is organized. And I want to also say that it's a strategic institution for stakeholders to meet, discuss, strategize, and come up with innovative ideas on how to improve the blue economy for the prosperity of the nation and humanity as a whole. The Institute partners or collaborates with the efforts of the Nigerian government in organizing trainings for capacity building, research, benchmarking, among others.
In security matters, the FCT Police Command has paraded several suspects involved in various criminal activities, including one-chance tactic, armed robbery, and impersonation of the Nigerian Army. A total of 16 suspects were apprehended and 11 exhibits, including 7 vehicles, were recovered during the operations. The Commissioner of Police, CP Olatunji Disu, disclosed this in Abuja on Tuesday while briefing journalists on breakthroughs in the ongoing operations to combat one-chance robberies, car theft, and other criminal activities in the nation's capital. Disu assured the public that all suspects will be prosecuted, emphasizing that crime prevention is a collective responsibility.
This achievement highlights the effectiveness of our proactive strategies and show the importance of public cooperation in ensuring the safety of all FCT residents. We are happy for the cooperation given to us by the residents of the Federal Capital Territory. This has contributed to all the arrests made so far. At the same time, officers of the command have arrested 2 fake soldiers. They are seen moving around in military uniform. Operatives of the Federal Capital Territory Police Command arrested one Emmanuel Linus for impersonating the Nigerian Army officer. The suspect was apprehended on November 30, 2024, around 2 p.m., dressed in full Nigerian Army camouflage uniform. During initial interrogation, Linus pretended to be a military officer. He had an ID card and the date of birth, everything muddled up, raising suspicion. Investigation gathered while he was in custody revealed that Linus was allegedly a member of criminal syndicates specialized in defrauding unsuspecting victims.
I used to create video online with military uniform.
You are creating video online with
military
uniform?
Yeah.
And you have been dismissed?
So on the day before yesterday, being on Sunday, I went to shoot video. So and there are some issues. So went there to settle the issue. That is when police get involved and get me arrested.
419 issue. I collected somebody's phone. The boy now saw me at Dede beside flyover. I started fighting. I now resort myself at Zuba station. From Zuba station, I now resort myself at command. Now command, I now resort myself at Abattoir. They now put me charges of 419. But this one chance, and it's 419 case that I do the local 419.
We'll take a break here. Coming up on News Now, international police targets people smugglers heading to the United Kingdom. Stay with us for details. Welcome back. Here's a recap of our top stories. About 12 people are feared dead around Mai Lamba access along Dansado-Gusau Road under the Maru local government area in Zamfara State following a suspected bomb explosion. According to residents, the incident occurred around 8 a.m. on Wednesday after a commercial driver conveying passengers to Dansado town ran on the device suspected to be planted by bandits. In a statement, the coordinator, Joint Media Coordination Center, Joint Task Force Northwest Operations, Lieutenant Colonel Abubakar Abdullahi, who confirmed the incident, said officials are currently coordinating with local law enforcement to assess the situation and ensure that those responsible do not go free. We also informed you that the Nigerian Senate has yielded to public pressure, suspending deliberations on the 4 controversial tax reform bills sent in by President Bola Tinubu until contentious issues are sorted out. In a move to address the disagreements, the Senate has established a 10-member committee tasked with engaging with the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, to address the areas of contention. The announcement was made by the Deputy President of the Senate, Barau Jibrin, who presided over plenary on Wednesday. He said the Senate Minority Leader, Abamoro, will lead the senators to the meeting on Thursday, December 5. In case you missed any of our news bulletins or for more updates, you can catch us on Limex World TV and AVU TV, or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria, or download our mobile app on Google Play Store, Huawei App Gallery, and Apple Store. On Facebook, we're at TV360 Online. Well, it's time for business news. Okwayemi Owosheni is on standby. Over to you, Okwayemi.
Thank you, Simisola, and welcome to Business News. Leaders from various industrial sectors in Nigeria have expressed concerns over the adverse effects of the current economic downturn on the sector's ability to thrive and contribute meaningfully to the nation's economic growth. These concerns were raised at the first stakeholders town hall meeting in Lagos with the Minister of State for Industry, John Eno, hosted by the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment. The town hall meeting marks Senator Eno's inaugural engagement with stakeholders in the industrial sector, focusing on fostering collaboration, promoting inclusivity, and driving transformative conversations for Nigeria's industrial growth. This report has details. With escalating global and domestic challenges, the growth of the Nigerian industrial sector has been hampered, resulting in its underperformance. Hence the need to reassess growth strategies within the sector and resolve critical concerns. This has prompted calls by experts who urge the Nigerian government to address policies affecting manufacturing as the sector's GDP contribution continues to decline. At this town hall meeting with government agencies and the organized private sector, leaders of industry voice out their concerns about the issues, which include FX devaluation, high interest rates, and low access to credit.
Despite several interventions of the CBN in the forex market, high exchange rate and forex scarcity still remain the major factors leading to the closure of businesses and increasing rate of exit of many companies from Nigeria to other African countries. Over the last 1 year, the exchange rate has dropped by over 56% from 764 to dollar to 1745 to dollar.
At borrowing 30%, 35%, you must be producing something else for you to be able to produce and at that rate and make profit. System. There's also an inefficient supply chain. We have heavy dependence on imported raw materials because even local sourcing is becoming challenged by insecurity. And that leads me to the last point that I'm making on this slide. The insecurity in some parts of the country has severely limited our operation.
In the case of today, you have 90% or 80% of the jobs being created by MSMEs. If we're creating all the jobs, and then the lending portfolio to MSMEs is 5%, whilst to our dear brothers in the larger space is the larger percent, how do we then say we're serious about developing our economy? We are the engine room of our economy.
In response to the concerns raised, the Minister of State for Industry, John Eno, reiterated the government's commitment to creating a thriving industrial landscape.
So we're trying to do an industry push at a season of constraint, at a time of constraints. What prospects do we have? But like I referred earlier on, I'm glad that speaker after speaker, everybody is hopeful, everybody is optimistic that if the right things are done, and the right things will have to be done, the right things will have to be done. Challenging opportunities like these, challenging moments and times like these give us the opportunity to even do much better.
The minister also highlighted plans to address policy inconsistencies to boost local manufacturing in the country.
Because you listen to me talk about the Executive Order 3 and 5. I mean, we have this in place. The things that you're not going to look for new things. All they're going to call for is what? To implement and to focus on those things that already exist in order to do what? To do the push for promoting locally made goods and things and get Nigerians to actually get used to them.
Stakeholders expressed optimism that this inaugural town hall meeting will mark a turning point for the organized private sector with the potential to revolutionize industrial practices.
The minister coming in for the first time, engaging us, we needed to set the records, to present the situation to him, and to tell him those low-hanging fruits that he needs to be able to deal with for us to have a smooth take-up in terms of our engagement and in terms of development of the industrial sector.
We deal with those issues that has bedeviled the manufacturing sector, the industrial sector, the real sector as we call it. If we address those issues fundamentally, as I said, it has the potential to help us to address the issue of rising unemployment. It has the potential to help us to address the issue of insecurity. And the more youth you have gainfully employed, the less challenge you have security-wise.
The inaugural stakeholders town hall meeting has set the stage for a more collaborative relationship between the government and Nigeria's organized private sector. With actionable plans to address critical challenges, this meeting signals a hopeful future for the country's industrial sector. Okpeyemi Owosheni, TV360 News, Lagos. We'll take a short break now and be back with Stock Market Report. Welcome back. The Nigerian exchange market has recovered from Tuesday's losses and closed on the green, increasing by 0.48% on the third trading day of the week. This gain raised the market's capitalization by over 3 trillion naira, bringing it to close at 59.52 trillion naira. Now, at the center of the trading floor, 126 listed equities participated in today's trading. Golden Guinea Breweries led the gainers with a 9.83% share price appreciation, closing at 4 naira 47 kobo per share. Now, at the end of today's trading session, about 521 million shares were traded in 9,420 deals, corresponding to a market value of over 19 billion naira. Now, on the global stage, the US Dow Jones and Japan's Nikkei showed strength, while the UK FTSE suffered a slight decline, reducing by 0.27%. Now, in the foreign exchange market, the naira continued to struggle against major currencies in the black market, as the British pound saw a slight uptick, trading at 2,225 naira against the naira, or the euro and the dollar traded at 1,820 naira and 1,730 naira respectively. Well, that was up to today's business and stock market updates. Over to you, Simi, for the rest of the news.
Thank you very much, Okwayemi. And on the foreign scene, an international police crackdown is underway against people smugglers transporting migrants to the United Kingdom through France, including raids in Western Germany. According to German police, hundreds of officers took part in dawn raids in a number of cities in the west of the country on Wednesday. UK authorities are supporting the action while all of the operational activity is taking place in Germany, and the investigation is being led by France. Home Office figures show that more than 20,000 migrants have crossed the channel in small boats since the Labour government came to power in July. And on sport, the head coach of the Nigeria's under-17 known as the Flamingos, Bankole Olowo-Okere, has called 25 players to camp ahead of the WAFU B Under-17 Girls Cup competition taking place in Ghana from December 12 to 26. The Flamingos have been drawn in Group B of the two-week 6-team competition alongside the Under-17 Girls of Cote d'Ivoire and Niger Republic. The team's camp opened on Tuesday at the Remo Star Sports Institute, Ikene, Remo, Ogun State, the same facility that will house the home-based Super Eagles who will be facing Ghana in the 2024 CHAN qualifiers later this month. Hosts Ghana is in Group A alongside Under-17 Girls of Burkina Faso and Benin Republic. And human rights groups in Guinea say at least 135 people died from the stampede that happened at the football stadium at Nzerokore. On Sunday, the final of a local football competition turned violent after rival fans invaded the pitch in protest of the referee's penalty decision. Police attempted to curtail and disperse the pitch invaders with tear gas, and a stampede ensued. The government announced that only 56 people died from the mayhem. However, human rights groups of the country claimed that the number of casualties exceeds the official figure. The country's justice minister has threatened to arrest and prosecute anyone sharing unverified and malicious information about the incident and the victim figures. Well, that's all on News Now. Many thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time.